The Yanomami believed that before Earth existed, there was a sky world where the first people lived with animals, forests, and villages. A powerful spirit named Omama lived there too. One day, something went very wrong, and the sky started to crack. A huge piece broke off and fell into the emptiness below. As it fell, it became Earth. All the forests, rivers, mountains, and people that were on that piece became part of Earth. Omama also fell to Earth and helped the ancestors learn how to live. He taught them that Earth came from the fragile sky world, so people must stay connected to nature. He explained that everything from the sky's world still had a spirit inside it, and these spirits help keep Earth from breaking again. Keep the Earth from breaking again. Omama warned that if people harm the Earth or forget the spirits, the sky could weaken and fall once more. Today, the Yanomami still honor their ancestors and take care of the Earth. Their way of life is shaped by their land, history, daily routines, and belief. Even though outsiders are trying to take their land for money, the Yanomami continue to survive and protect their culture. The Yanomami are shaped by their geography. The Yanomami live in the most remote part of the Amazon rainforest. The tribe lives in northern Brazil and southern Venezuela. In the rainforest, the land is covered by tall trees and thick vegetation. Sunlight doesn't reach the ground. The rainforest is hot, humid, and rainy all year long. This helps plants grow but makes life and travel hard. The Yanomami live far from the Amazon River, but there are a lot of tributaries that are used for drinking water, fishing, bathing, and as natural paths to travel through the dense rainforest. The Yanomami depend on the rainforest, its plants and animals and rivers for food, medicine, and tools. Over thousands of years, the Yanomami people have learned to survive and in balance with the Amazon rainforest. The history of the Yanomami is all about preservation. In the face of a changing world, like all Native Americans, the Yanomami are believed to have crossed the Bering Strait. Archaeologists believe they have lived in the Amazon Valley for 15,000 years. The first writing about the Yanomami comes from a 1654 Spanish expedition. Apolinar Diaz La Fuente met with the Yaquana people who told him of the Yanomami. They said that the Yanomami were brave and went to war with other tribes. De La Fuente wrote that they will not be friends with any kind of Indian. Even as far back as first contact, the Yanomami preferred isolation from other groups. This was very important to their survival. By 1720, all other Amazon indigenous groups were obliterated. Entire tribes were killed or broken apart by the Spanish-backed slave hunting expeditions and disease. These atrocities were committed by the conquistadors. The Yanomami survived by avoiding all outsiders and defending their territory. Starting in the 1970s, farmers, cattle ranchers, gold miners, and the Brazilian government wanted access to Yanomami land. In 1778, the Pro-Yanomami Commission, the CCPY, was created to defend the rights of the Yanomami. In the 1990s, the Brazilian government said the Yanomami had constitutional right to 37,320 square feet of land in the state of Roraima and Amazonas. Venezuela's constitution also recognizes their right to their land. Both governments have since opened up Yanomami land to legal gold mining and have done nothing to stop illegal gold mining, while the world around them has drastically changed in the 15,000 years since the Yanomami came to the Amazon. The tribe has fought to maintain their traditional way of life. The daily lives of the Yanomami are closely tied to nature. Each Yanomami village lives together in a building called a shibono. A shibono is a large circular building with an open ceiling. Shibonos are temporary buildings built with palm leaves, food, and vines. They can house hundreds of people and are rebuilt every few years to fit the needs of the village. The center of the Shabono is used for games and parties. Each family has its own fireplace inside the building and sleeps in hammocks surrounding the hearths. Shabonos are also used for gardening, cooking, and rituals. The Yanomami are polygamous. That means that often one person has multiple partners. The Yanomami groups are patrilocal, where one man has more than one wife and leads the family. The Shirashana group often has marriages where one woman takes on multiple husbands. Children stay close to their mother in early childhood, but as they grow older, they become part of a larger community and are raised by all women of the tribe. The Yanomami view all relationship as fluid, not a part of one's identity. Divorce, same-sex relationships, and gender changes are all accepted by parts of Yanomami communities. The Yanomami farm bananas and root vegetables like yams, cassava, and sweet potato. The Yanomami men are expert hunters. They hunt tapirs, wild pigs, macaws, and deer. They hunt only what they need for their village. Hunters use blowpipes with bamboo darts tipped with poison. They also use longbows and set traps. Yanomami women gather over 500 plants for food. The medicine and building, they also call it. Food, medicine, and building. They also collect shellfish and nuts. Women also forage for small animals like frogs, and land crabs, and insects. The Yanomami are semi-nomadic, meaning they move to where food is most abundant. However, they stay in one area usually for around 2 years. The Yanomami languages are split into 4 related languages: Yanomamo, Waika, Ninon, and Yanoma. Their languages are spoken only, not written. Most Yanomami are monolingual, meaning they only speak one language. All of the Yanomami languages are considered nature-based. Their vocabulary is intertwined with the Amazon ecosystem, what they call urihi. They believe that the rainforest is alive, and their words show that. The words are often descriptive, not precise. For instance, they do not have any numbers above 6, mani, imik, I, moni, imi, or one hand plus one finger. Any number higher is called jarehe, or many. The Yanomami live together, hunt together, gather food together, share oral stories, and work as a community to survive in the Amazon, a place they believe is connected to them in every way. Becoming a shaman. The Yanomami's culture is centered around their spiritual beliefs. The Yanomami believe in animism. They believe that all parts of nature contain spirits that the Yanomami call Zaipri. In order to stay in good standing with these spirits, the Yanomami must keep balance with all things, never taking more than they need and being good caretakers of the earth. Like in the creation story, they believe that there are worlds above and below the earth, and that the spirits come from these worlds. Shamans are spiritual leaders who are believed to be able to communicate with the spirits in every realm. They are able to provide healing, as illness is seen as a spiritual problem, happens when a person is out of balance with nature, talk to the spirits, and interpret dreams and visions. Shamans are usually men and are leaders of feasts and rituals. When shamans need to solve a problem that the village is facing, they use yakwana, a hallucinogenic plant, to enter a trance-like state and communicate with spirits. Becoming a shaman takes years and includes hard training like fasting, years of mentoring, and undergoing a spiritual suffering, death, and rebirth. The Yanomami celebrate harvest with community feasts. They also perform rituals to ask the spirits for healing for the members or for the earth, and to resolve conflicts or build alliances. During these rituals, the Yanomami dance, chant, and decorate their bodies with plant-based paints, macaw feathers, and symbolic masks. The most important ritual is the Rihu, which is a funeral ceremony. The Yanomami believe that death is caused by spirits or enemies. Yanomamis. They don't believe death is natural. After a person dies, they are cremated, and the ashes are cooked into a plantain soup that is eaten by relatives. They think that eating their ashes keeps the person in the community. The rihu lasts several days and involves the neighboring villages, Yanomami villages. The ceremony is not just for grieving, but helps keep social and political bonds strong. Celebrating and grieving together, talking to spirits, and living in balance with nature is how the Yanomami act out their faith.
3.
The Yanomami face big challenges to their land, health, and way of life. Illegal gold mining is the biggest problem the Yanomami have. Gold miners have been ignoring that Yanomami land is preserved and closed to miners. They come onto their land and search for gold and then mine it when they find it. Rivers are polluted in the mining process because gold miners use mercury, a toxin, to separate the gold. The mercury damages the main water source of the Yanomami and poisons the fish they eat. Illegal gold miners are also a big part of cutting down the rainforest. They clear trees to make space for mining and dig into the forest floor. Mining leaves pools of standing water, which breeds mosquitoes, so malaria has become a big problem. Miners bring new diseases that the tribe isn't able to fight off because they've never been exposed to them. The main diseases are tuberculosis, flu, and COVID because their land has been destroyed. Many Yanomami people struggle to find food when trees are cut down and the ground is dug up. Animals die, move away when rivers are polluted. Fish die and drinkable water becomes hard to find. Farming land is disrupted and soil is toxic. Malnutrition is now a big problem for the Yanomami. The Yanomami seek to live in harmony with the rainforest, and the miners are making that impossible. The governments of Brazil and Venezuela have done almost nothing to prevent this. In 1993, Brazilian gold miners killed at least 16 Yanomami people. This is known as the Haxamu Massacre. More recently, Brazil's former president Bolsonaro reduced protections and encouraged mining, even as he claimed to be an ally to indigenous people. The government has also been slow to provide food, resources, and access to healthcare. This is structural violence done by the government against a group that is protected by the law. The Yanomami simply want to be left alone and live their lives in balance with nature. But people who care more about making money than people or the planet threaten their existence. The Yanomami people are finding ways to survive, even though the environment around them is being destroyed. They protect their land by watching over it and standing up to people who try to take it. They do this through defense patrols. They use their traditional knowledge of the rainforest to live in a way that keeps nature healthy, which is very different from the harmful actions causing the damage. They also keep their culture alive by teaching their language and traditions to younger generations. Some Yanomami youth are using tools like drones to spot danger and share what is happening with others. All of these efforts show how hard they are working to protect their home, especially when those in power have not done enough to support them. The Yanomami want to live the way they always have. They want to be left alone from the modern world, a world where value of gold is worth more than life, and destroying an entire ecosystem is seen as alright as long as somebody is getting rich. We have a lot to learn from the Yanomami about how to care for our home and how to protect and live in harmony with all living things. Mercury, a toxin, to separate the gold. Mercury damages the main water source of the Yanomami and poisons the fish they eat.